Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Abby and I am a first year middle school math teacher. That is so fun to say. If you are new here and you didn't know, that is my first time ever saying that aloud on the internet. I just got my first ever teaching job. So like I said, if you're new and you know nothing of my story, long story short, I was in corporate working an engineering job, and then last year decided to jump out, switch gears, and go into education. And so I've been spending this past year getting certified. I'm going into my first year of teaching. I got my first teaching job. Like, that is crazy to me. I just wanted to make this video to let you guys in on the news, talk a little bit about how I got to this point, and also I asked some of you on Instagram just for any questions that you might have for me. And so I am going to field some of those questions a little bit later on in the video as well. But first, I just wanted to give you all the rundown on kind of what's happening, how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, what grade level I'm teaching. Basically, I got the call from the principal at the school that I'll be working at back a couple weeks ago. But we were still waiting on the paperwork to go through and everything, so I didn't want to say anything. So I've known for a couple weeks now that this is probably where I was gonna work, but I was just, you know, the little nervous Nelly in me was not wanting to say anything really to anyone until it was like a done deal. I had signed the dotted line. And so just a few days ago, I got my contract, I signed it, and I am hired, I am employed. And so I'm so excited. So I will be working in the same district that I've been working in this past school year. So if you didn't know, I worked at a high school this past school year as an in-class support paraprofessional. So I was working with the SPED department, basically providing accommodations for students in various different math classes. And that was such a good experience for me. I'm so thankful that I got that experience. If you are getting alternatively certified, AKA you did not go to school for education, you're not gonna get to do student teaching, I would highly recommend you exploring that option of potentially being a para for a year, because I just really feel like it was an invaluable experience, and just really solidified for me that this is what I want to do, and also just gave me, I feel like, a lot of tools in my tool belt to use going into my first year of teaching. So highly recommend. But I'm very excited because I kind of already know how the district works. I already know our online learning platform. We're not going to be teaching hybrid or anything. Everything's going to be in person this year, but we're going to keep our online learning platform for just sending out information and everything. And so I'm so glad that I got to work in the district that I'm at, because I really love my district, but also because I know that there's just things that I won't have to relearn if I had switched to a different district. So right now they have me teaching 7th grade, and I'm really excited about that. I really am so excited to get into the middle school grade levels. I loved my experience in high school this past year, but I really feel like the younger grade levels in middle school is really where I want to be. So right now I'm slated to teach 7th grade. I really love the school that I'm gonna be at. I felt really comfortable with the admin that I've already met. I've met the principal, the director of instruction, and the math curriculum coach. And I have just felt really comfortable with all of them. Everybody's been so kind, so supportive, and I am just really excited. So that is the news. You guys are in on everything. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have already known that I got a job, that I was teaching 7th grade, but I wanted to let my little YouTube family know, and also just elaborate and tell you guys a little bit more about my process and about what exactly I'll be doing and everything like that. So like I said, I'm super excited. Really fast, I got quite a few questions on interviews, and I think I'm actually gonna make an entire separate video talking about interviews, my experience, my tips, recommendations, and everything for first year teachers. So stay tuned for that, because I'm gonna try to like film that as quickly as I can and get that out to y'all, because I know that there's a lot of you first year teachers out there who are still interviewing for jobs, or maybe you are graduating next semester or even next year and you're just wondering what the interview process is like. So I really want to get that video out to all of you. That will hopefully be helpful. But I am gonna like save that for a video of its own. Otherwise, I'm afraid that this video is gonna just be so long. But with all that said, I'm gonna get into some of the questions that were submitted. I have them over here, so if I'm looking over here, they're up on my computer, that's why. The first question I got is actually not teaching related at all, but I thought it was a really sweet question. This girl asked, how long ago did you get married and what was your wedding like? So I don't talk a ton about my husband on my channel or on social media in general. He's like pretty anti-social media, and I want to respect that. He doesn't want to be on camera, but I will tell y'all a little bit about it. And so my husband's name is Aaron. We got married in August of 2019. I'll put up some pictures of our wedding. So we've been married for almost 2 years. Our wedding was so fun. It was pretty simple decor wise. I'm really big into neutrals, and we tried to keep it pretty neutral and timeless. Aaron and I have been like dating since high school. So we got married right after college. I was actually still in college. I had a semester left, and so I commuted between Houston, and we went to A&M, so I commuted between Houston and College Station. He's my best friend. He is my biggest supporter behind all of this YouTube stuff that I do, behind the career change stuff that I went through, going from engineering to education. So he is the best. He just doesn't like being on camera, so gonna respect that. So the next question was, what was your favorite question that they asked you in the interview? So for this particular school that I will be at, I think my favorite question that they asked was basically they asked, what do you bring to the table for the team that you're going to be on? Because the school that I'll be at, they do team planning. You work with your team a lot within whatever department that you're in. Basically, what do you have to offer? What are you gonna bring to the table to that team? And I really liked that question. As a first year teacher, it provides just even more context to who you are, because the reality is you haven't had any teaching experience, or maybe you've only had student teaching. And so you get to kind of talk about like who you are as a team player, as a teammate, and what you feel like you bring to the table. And I think first year teachers have a lot to offer in terms of we are fresh legs, like we have a lot of energy, we are ready to contribute, we are really excited to jump in and learn as much as we can. And I think just based on your personality, there's a lot that you can speak to. And so I really appreciated that question, because I felt like it wasn't so like boom, 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 talking about the technicalities of teaching, and I got to kind of just talk about who I was and what I feel like I bring to the table to a team, and how I operate in team environments, and just relationally with other people. And so I thought that was a really good question. The next question I got was, how did you know that this school was right for you? I would say that there were two main things. The first thing was, in the interview, I just felt really, really comfortable. I know that all interviews are different. Some interviews you're only with the principal, other interviews you're with multiple people. For me, I was with the principal, the director of instruction, and the math curriculum coach. And I really appreciated that, because I not only got a feel of what the principal was telling me about the school, but I also got a feel of what the culture among the staff was, just seeing how they all interacted with each other. And I just felt really comfortable. I left the interview feeling like it was more of a conversation and less of like an interrogation. Some interviews can feel really intense and you almost feel like you're being interrogated. One of the top questions I always asked at every interview that I had was, what do you feel like the team culture is amongst staff, or what do you even feel like the culture is in the school as a whole between staff and students? How would you describe it? However they answer it, it gives you a pretty clear kind of glimpse into how well you might be supported. For this particular school, the way that they answered, and I really loved this, is the principal just kind of looked at the two other women that were in the room and was just like, do you see how we're all kind of just talking, and how, you know, we're kind of cracking jokes and laughing together? We're not putting on a show for you. Like, this is genuinely how it is. And we all really love working together. We're all really supportive of each other, and we all want this to be like an enjoyable work environment. And so we're here to support you. We're here to be your friend. And I just really loved that answer and just felt really assured that I would be supported as a first year teacher, because I think as a first year teacher, that is like kind of the biggest thing that you need, is you just need support. That was kind of how I knew that that school was for me. The second thing was they just seemed really enthusiastic about having me. I did interview with another school that I really liked, but they just didn't seem very enthusiastic about having me. They didn't get back to me for a long time, and within that time frame, this school had been very persistent and enthusiastic about hiring me. And so before I had even heard back from that other school that I liked, I decided to take the job with this school that I will be teaching at, because it just didn't seem to make sense to wait around for the other school. If you interview with a school and you really like them and they seem really enthusiastic and want to support you, it's just really hard to say no to that. The next question, how many schools do you recommend applying to? This is really a hard question because I think it depends on a number of factors. I would say if you're moving somewhere new and it's a brand new district, you've never worked there, or you don't have any connections there, or you're moving to a new city, I think you would probably apply to a lot more schools. If you're moving to a brand new area, I would probably apply to no less than 4 districts, and then however many schools you end up applying to within those districts is kind of up to you. If you're just applying to like a number of different schools, I don't know, maybe start out with like 5 to 10 just to be safe. And then if maybe a month goes by or 3 weeks go by and you don't hear anything back, then maybe explore more options. I don't think you need to apply to like 100 different schools or every single school in the area. Obviously look up the ratings on the school districts and the schools that you're applying to, because the other thing too is as much as you want the school to pick you, you also want to pick the school. You don't want to put yourself in a bad position where maybe you end up at a school that you really don't fit in with, but you're like so frantic to get a job that you just like apply there anyway, even if you wouldn't want to work there. You know what I'm saying? So try to apply to places that you would genuinely want to work at, and kind of let that be the limiting factor that kind of cuts you off on how many schools that you applied to. I personally knew that we were gonna stay living in the area that we've been living in, and I really wanted to stay in the district that I was in, and so I really prioritized applying to the schools in my district and really prioritizing those interviews. If you already have connections to a district, that could make your process a little bit easier. Oh, the next question kind of goes along with that last one. Did you ever think about applying to a school in a different state? The answer is no. We are here in Texas, and we are not moving. My husband has a job in the area. There's no reason for us to move. So did not even think about applying to a district or applying to a school in a different state. The next question was, did you want to teach middle school specifically, or were you open to any secondary grade? So I really wanted to teach middle school. I obviously had experience in high school. So kind of how I approached it was, okay, I am going to apply to exclusively middle schools on the front end. And then if I get to the end of June, so if I get halfway through the summer basically, and I have nothing to show for it, like I haven't gotten any calls, I haven't gotten any interviews, any leads, anything like that, then I will start applying to high schools. So I kind of was open to any secondary grade, but my heart really was set on middle school, so I definitely prioritized applying there. The last question that I got was, what was your certification process? This specific person says that they live in Georgia. Okay, so this is the hard thing about alternative certification. It is so different state by state. And I'm sure education programs in general are so different state by state. So I can only speak to Texas. And so since this one person lives in Georgia, I'm sorry, I feel like I can't really help you. But if you're watching this and you are from Texas and you're wondering about teaching certification programs, I specifically did a program called Teachworthy. A lot of the certification programs are fairly similar. Teachworthy was the one that I found that was most cost effective. And also they integrate some stuff into their certification process where you get a little bit of extra training on social emotional learning and classroom management. And I said, yes, I need that. Specifically, they do a training called Capturing Kids' Hearts. and throw it into your certification process. And I just actually did that training this past Saturday and loved it, could not recommend it more. And so the fact that that kind of got thrown into my training was really great and something that I really wanted. Highly recommend them. I will link them down below, their website. Teachworthy is what I did. So if you are in the state of Texas and looking to get alternatively certified, I highly recommend them. I think that is all of the questions that I'm going to answer. Like I said, I'm gonna do an entire interview tips question and answer video, so definitely stay tuned for that, because like I said, I'm gonna try to get that up as soon as humanly possible, because I know a lot of y'all are interviewing. That is it for today's video, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. I have really appreciated all of you who have been watching this journey. Every kind DM that I have gotten on Instagram, y'all have sent me some really sweet messages, just saying that it's just been helpful for you to hear like my process, because you might be experiencing the same thing, and that is like everything to me, because that's like the whole reason why I started this channel, was just hopefully to help out some other people who are maybe experiencing the same things, or other first-year teachers, or other people making a career leap into any kind of other profession. Just thank you for being here and being so supportive. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I have the exact same name. It's just at Abby in the Classroom. And so I would love to connect with you on there. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, a great rest of your day. Whenever you're watching this, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.